you is that if you're not assigned, education is the foundation that allows the experience to teach you. Because without the education, you don't know what to do with the experience. And without the experience, you don't know what to do with the opportunity that comes as a result of all of it. So you have to start with that educational foundation and then grow from there. So it's very important that you go to your classes. It's very important that you do that assignment. It's very important that you write that paper you don't want to. Don't use ChatGPT. Use your mind because you have it. You have the ability to do it. You are your own ChatGPT. You should believe in yourself and do the work. Put that foundation so that way you can then build off of the results of that, which will drive the experiences, and those experiences will drive the opportunities, and all those opportunities you'll be able to profit and do all the things that you want to do. It's a multi-tiered process, but education is fundamental. Education is
Mm. Okay, okay. So tell us a little bit about this new single. First off, you want to catch him. He will be at the alumni game
that's
tonight.
right.
both games. First game, men's game, the women's game is at 5:30, and the men's game starts at 7 o'clock over here at Seabrook Recreation Center. But you are a college tour. I see you're just in Alabama.
That's right. That's right.
You here? Then you heading to FAMU,
That's right.
and then you going to A&T.
And then where I grew up. That's right.
Okay. So you brought us something, Man Eater, and
Yes,
I've heard this song flip so many times. But this was dope.
I appreciate that, brother. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I've heard this song flip a few times, but this one was dope. So can you tell us about what made you go get this one?
Really, I got a shout out to my producer, Brandon Alexander Hodge. He's a big dog in the game, and he's worked with some of the greatest, Mary J. Blige, Jay-Z, Rihanna, all the big names. And thank God that I was connected with him early on when I moved to LA. And he sent me some beats, man. I just requested some stuff. He worked with me as my MD, so we worked on a lot of my live music stuff together. But he sent me some beats, man, and we were just sitting in the studio with my boy Greasy, and that's my engineer, and my boy Gio, who's my co-writer on the project. And we were just listening to him. We fell in love with the beat first.
Mm-hmm.
That's typically how it works for me. I fall in love with the music, the instrumentation first. But I didn't really know what I wanted to do lyrically with it. So we were just kind of sitting it. The song kind of gave me like an 80s vibe, kind of made me feel like nostalgic. So, we were listening to different songs. We listened to Prince, we listened to Michael Douglas, and on the YouTube playlist, this Hall & Oates Man Eater comes on, and I fell in love with that melody immediately, and I was like, yeah, oh here she comes, yeah, that did it, that saxophone solo, all that. It just gave me a reminiscence, and I was like, well, listen, in music, you have to be a student of the game. So you have to kind of understand the different genres and the different styles of music that can take you to a more modern sound. So I wanted to make a play off of that, play homage to them, you know what I'm saying? Because I thought it was a fantastic song, and just try to make something that would resonate with the modern ear, but also pay homage to those great legends, that made that song. So, we sat down and we were like, all right, well, how can we make a twist on the modern femme fatale story? And that's Man Eater, as we have it, is the result, man. So I'm glad you liked it, bro. It took a lot of hard work and tenacity to get that song out, but it was, it's the single for a reason. I think it's real dope.
Okay, man. Well, look. First off, tell the people where they can find you at.
Man, I'm John Alex Gatsby. You can find me on all platforms: YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, at John Alex Gatsby. JohnAlexGatsby.com.
Alright, and before you get up out of here, can you do me the honor of introducing your song?
Yes, sir. Bronco High Radio. It's your boy John Alex Gatsby, and you're listening to my new single, Man Eater, right here. Happy homecoming. I'm gonna open the front door. I can open this door?
Yeah, you good.
Okay, we're good.
Alright, so you can swap out now.
Oh?
Swap out.
Okay.
I know you had to get somewhere.
Yeah, we gotta get to the sound check on, brother.
Yeah, man.
That was a dope interview, bro. I appreciate you.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That was a good interview that they just did.
I'm gonna come over there to the game after I get done. I gotta go back and do something else. But I'm coming over to the game. I love to talk to no police here.
Yeah, come and talk to me, bro.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that interview a great deal.
Hey,
God
look.
bless you.
Hey, look.
Nice to meet you too.
Fire with a pen.
Yeah? Okay.
I'm alright.
Let's chat. Let me get your IG.
Okay. Hang on a second.
Just put it in, I'll follow you.
It's that new phone, ain't it?
Yeah, that ain't nothing. The 16 is better, I think.
I got a 13, and I'm sticking with it.
Yeah, until it break, really.
Yeah.
But that's my thing. I break them all the time. I even broke that one already. God bless y'all, all right?
Yeah,
Thank you
nice
so
to
much.
meet you.
Happy homecoming, y'all.
Happy homecoming. It's homecoming, peoples.
Yeah, man. They out there trying to learn stuff, man. For real.
That's good.
Yes. Appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you, man.
Hey, amazing interview.
Yeah, I see.
Nice to meet you.
Like I told him, I'm coming over there later on.
Okay, yeah, we'll be there. We bouncing around,
All right.
shooting
And
in.
y'all gonna be outside tonight, like?
Yeah. Because we're there for the night. You know what I'm saying? For the day and the night, we try to enjoy all the ambiance.
I'm about to say they got R&B night tonight.
Okay, yeah. Chop it up and let us know where it's at. We just follow the lead.
All right, bet.
Appreciate you guys.
Okay, that was a good interview.
We just gonna chop it up.
Okay.
About 30 minutes.
Okay.
You the journalist, right?
No. Well,
Which one you want to use
for this, probably Dormaya.
for Dormaya event?
Yeah, for this.
So it's at Dormaya event?
Yeah. Because you're going to ask me stuff about my job. Yeah. Okay.
The bottom line coming up on bronco-iradio.com.
All right, gentlemen. We got this commercial, and then we got the commercial.
Am I the only girl on this cast? Am I the only girl on this cast? Am I the only girl on this cast?
Brandon Braswell.
Tatiana again. Tatiana again. Well, I'm going to be holding my own.
Talk show promo.
The bottom line.
The Bottom Line Talk Show with Tatiana again.
The Bottom Line Talk Show. It's the Bottom Line Talk Show. It's the Bottom Line Talk Show.
Am I the only girl on this cast?
So you thought it was
I'm going to be holding my
I
own.
just want to say thank you so much. I heard the interview was great.
You like information? No, we can be, it's not like,
From 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. It's the Bottom Line Talk Show with your host, Richard Fisher, Kay Jones, Brandon Braswell.
And Tatiana again.
It's a show that talks about all the subjects that matter to you.
Motivation Monday.
What's going on with it? What's going on with it?
Thank you so much.
Tuesday, Friday afternoons,
Have a great day.
5 p.m.
You need it, and we got it. The Bottom Line on BroncoRadio.com.
We're proud to be.
Are you in?
Are you in?
Ooh. Better break stuff. No, I hit the table.
good. Anything specific you want to talk about, or just chop it?
What was you thinking?
I was just gonna talk about your journey. You being here, student at one point. You know how do you get to winning the Emmy and the thought behind it?
Yeah, we could just go with that.
You know,
Yeah.
Ain't gonna be too much. I ain't gonna lie. I'm just doing this to stay on it.
Oh well,
I
we
be really getting eruption, bro.
yeah. I mean, we could just talk about that.
Yeah, I say whatever you want. You know,
I don't have
I
nothing
just
specific.
they just wanna make sure they get you.
You know, yeah, I get it. Make the rounds.
Yeah, that's it.
Make the
Make
rounds.
sure, you know.
Yeah, but yeah, that's fun. I didn't have nothing specific.
I ain't either. I like so I know you, so we can just chop it up.
Yeah.
I know I ain't gonna say shit on the radio.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good to me.
Yeah, man. It's all I be doing is just.
I'll be seeing you on socials posting and stuff.
I be in here so much, like working, trying to learn shit, cause I know just writing stuff. That's what was always shit. That's why I'm really just getting. That's why I'm getting a degree.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad you like doing it. 'Cause I remember when you talked to me about like going to school and like, you know, you wanted to start and stuff. So yeah, man, I'm telling you, get all this.
I be getting close to the goddamn teachers. Like you said, Dr. Luke.
I'm telling you, lock in with her, bro. Like she be having connects, man.
Now back to the bottom line on bronco-iradio.com.
BroncoIRadio.com, where every second of the day an artist is live. Tune to the bottom line. I am your host, King Jones. Thank you to John Alex Gatsby for coming through, dropping off Man Eater. Make sure you go check him out on all platforms. And if you can, check him out tonight over at Seabrook Recreation Center, 5:30. Well, forming the halftime for the alumni games, the men and women. The women start at 5:30, the men start at 7. So if you can, get over there. And if not, just catch him out and around the city. See it for a couple of days. Good time, not a long time. So get in with him. Get in with him. And he's a AV. He's a pilot. Not everybody knows a pilot. You can't say you know a pilot, right? That's crazy. But this next guest, as I told y'all, it's Friday's homecoming. You never know who's liable to come through. So this next guest is someone I've been on over the past few years. Watched her grow. Watched her go on to Atlanta and become her. They tried to say she couldn't do it. She did it. Master's degree. NPR, journalist, just everything. But most of all, put some respect on her because she is Emmy Award winning. Make sure you say it. Emmy Award winning journalist. Domaya Vance. But me, I know it's Baby G. I know it's Baby G.
Oh my
man.
God.
How you doing today? Glad to have you here. Glad to have you here. How
Yeah.
you doing?
I'm good. I'm sort of like in awe being back on campus. Like when I first got here, I was like, oh my God, I'm not a student anymore.
You came back as an Emmy Award winning journalist.
Yeah, mind you, this is my first homecoming, like since I graduated.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's been 3 years and it's my first homecoming, but yeah, I'm excited to see what happens going into the homecoming weekend.
Okay. So, before we get into you enjoying homecoming, what brought you back? What brought you back to campus? I know you came back for something, so what brought you back to campus?
I'll be honest, I came back for a speaking engagement here. Basically coming back as an alum, not only as like Fayetteville State alum, but you know, The Voice, Fayetteville State newspaper. And so Dr. Miller, she wanted me to come over and tell like students about my career, and we talked about it for like maybe 2 months before everything, and we planned it out. So I came back specifically for that, but also like, you know, it's homecoming.
Stay home and enjoy homecoming.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. We adopted her in the Ville because you are originally from Goldsboro.
Yeah, Goldsboro. Yeah.
So let me ask you, coming from a smaller area like Goldsboro to go out to Atlanta where you're not a shark in a fish tank. You're pretty much like a fish in a ocean.
Yeah.
There's so many journalists and media outlets and different people down there.
Mm-hmm.
So what was that transition like to come from a smaller market to somewhere like Atlanta, which is like a media hub?
Honestly, well, I was fortunate in general to be able to go to Atlanta because of, like I said, Dr. Miller and her connections and stuff. So I think like coming from Goldsboro, because in Goldsboro, I don't even know if they still have a paper there, but we had the News Argus, which is like a local small publication. But coming from Goldsboro, where there's not a lot of media or different things and stuff like that going into my field, like coming to Fayetteville and seeing like what the possibilities were, I think that sort of added to the transition, because it was kind of hard going to Atlanta and going into a bigger market, because you know, I work for the newspaper here on campus, but also I did the internship with the Observer.
Right.
And so it was just like seeing how that works, and then going to Atlanta where it's more fast paced. I work in public radio, so it's a little bit more lenient, but still bigger markets, bigger expectations. And I think like locking in was like the hardest thing. Like, you know, okay, we're going from a small to big. We need to lock in to make sure we accomplish the goal that, you know, we put in place, as far as like, you know, me talking to myself. And so I think like it was just a transition, like the leveling up process, shedding a new skin, you know what I mean, going into the process. So it was just, the transition in and of itself was hard.
Right.
But getting into the bigger markets, you know, because like I had the foundation and my degree and, you know, just experience, it wasn't as hard as far as getting into the job,
Right.
I would say.
So many of these students, you got we're in October, so you got a crop of journalists that are about to graduate in December and looking to go out into the world, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. What does that transition realistically look like? I mean, because your story is a bit different because you graduated in May and you were in Atlanta in June.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
your transition was a bit different than the average.
Yeah.
I may say. So, but what does that transition normally look like? What do you believe that transition looks like for students that'll be graduating in December? What is what's the first thing that they should do, or even before graduating, what should they be doing right now?
I would say equipping themselves, like locking in with professors, like thinking about the communications department. Like I was just telling you, Dr. Miller, man, like locking in with your professors will get you a long way, I would say. But I think like talking to your professors and getting like the ideas together of what you're trying to do, because they'll help you with resources or connect you with people. But also I think laying the foundation, like I was telling some students earlier, like make sure you're getting the skills, like make sure you have that, you know, experience, or you're trying to, you know, continue the work. Like don't fall off just because you're about to graduate. You know, this should be when you go the hardest.
Right.
You know, so, you know, keep gaining those skills, but also start putting yourself out there. Really, you should be doing that beforehand, but start putting yourself out there, whether that's like LinkedIn, reaching out to, you know, potential companies that you may be interested in. LinkedIn, you can get a lot of resources. You know, start looking on social media and maybe connecting on social media, because I know that's a resource for a lot of people nowadays.
Right.
And so I would say, like, start putting yourself out there a little more if you haven't, and locking in with people in your network, whether that's professors, other people in media, or, you know, other students that may have similar interests, and how y'all can help each other. So I would say it's more so about the preparation of it all, like making sure you have your affairs in order. I would say, and yeah, lock in. Like that's a big thing. Lock in.
So, what was Dormaya's last semester at Fayetteville State like? What did Dormaya do her senior year to get her to Emmy Award winning status? What did she do?
What did I do? Oh my God, because we was coming off of COVID and trying to get our lives back together. So I would say, like, it was just locking in, man. Like, that's the takeaway for right now, locking in, I would say, because I had a vision in my head. Like, I told myself, like, late junior year-ish, that I was going to move to Atlanta in general. And so I was just like, okay, what do I need to do to put myself in that position? And that's where that networking comes from, because Dr. Miller, the same professor I've been mentioning this whole time, she helped me with my job because she knew about this program that helps connects younger journalists or experienced journalists to newsrooms that may be underserved or need help with, you know, hiring or whatever. And so really I was just like, I was locking in because I'm like, I want to move to Atlanta. She, you know, this professor has this program. She thinks I should apply to it. And like, I've always been like a hungry person. I've been a very ambitious person. And so it's like, when I know I want to do something, like, I'm not a talker. And I'm pretty sure you know this.
Right.
I'm not a talker. I just do it. Like, I just do it. Like, I told myself I wanted to move to Atlanta. I did it. I told myself I wanted to be a journalist. I did it. Like, you know what I mean? So it's not like a set thing I did. It was just like having knowing my why, like my purpose, and moving off that. And so it was just like a year of preparation, like applying to the program, looking at what it costs to live in Atlanta, because good grief, it's expensive. You know, prepping for like the actual move. It was just really a time of like, we're going to the next step. Like, that was sort of what the process or what senior year really looked like for me. And then like graduating, Yeah, once I finally knew I had got my job, it was like right before graduation.
Mm.
I had to move in like 2 months. So it was like I had to do all of that locking in and then actually apply it within like 2 months.
Mm.
So it was just like a hustle year. Like senior year was a hustle year.
So what was that? What did that feel like when you first stepped out in Atlanta? That first week you stepped out there and hey, I'm here now. What is that first week for you? What is it? How do you feel? What are you thinking? Like, what's going on?
Well, I think it was like acceptance, right? Like you don't know what this culture is like the workplace culture, so you got to fill it out. You need to, obviously at the time like my newsroom was pretty white.
Right.
So it was like, okay, like we're working with all these white people, already, so I was like, you're just trying to fill it out, but everybody was cool, and so like my first week was a lot more anxiety around like, okay, like am I gonna be like not say safe, but like am I gonna be safe, here as far as like being a Black woman journalist,
Right.
In the public media space, which is predominantly white. And so it's like, am I gonna be okay here, and then am I gonna be accepted? Like there was anxiety around that because I was talking to students earlier about how I was real nervous about the way I sound because of my accent and being Southern and stuff like that. And I didn't want people to, have preconceived notions or think I sounded a certain way or something. So it was just like a little bit of anxiety that first week and learning like, okay, yeah, you're gonna be on the radio, you gotta learn how to talk for radio, and so it was just like taking it all in. So I would say like that first week was nerve-wracking. It was anxiety all through I would say, but it was like a good experience that I appreciated despite that anxiety.
How did you beat it? What did you do to combat that anxiety?
I got to know like the people in my newsroom a little bit better. And then my boss at the time, she also had an accent. She's Italian. Like she still is in Atlanta, but she's not my boss anymore. But she's Italian. And so when I heard her talk, I'm like, oh, like that eased me a little bit because I'm like, but you also have accent and you record stories. So it was more so like just getting to know the people in my newsroom and understanding like, not say they don't care, but it's like we're people, we're going to be different, so we're not expecting you to be the same. And so that was sort of like how I got through it, just learning the culture of my newsroom. And like it's pretty like chill, to be honest. Like the workplace culture is good in my opinion. Like my bosses, they respect me, I respect them. Like we can have open dialogue, we can have conversations. If I need something, they're willing to support, you know what I mean? If I need some time off, I don't have to worry about hearing no.
Right.
They tell you to take time off. So it's like, I just had to sort of get more acquainted with the people around me despite, those issues at first. But then like our newsroom started to diversify too, so that made me even more comfortable, like seeing more people that look like me in there. So it was like really just like going through it. That was sort of what eased it.
How important is the diversification of newsrooms, especially in today's climate?
It's important. We need it. We need it. We need journalists of color. We need more Black journalists, more women, more non-binary people, more LGBT LMNPs. Like we need all these people. Like we need them. Like me as a queer person, we need them. And I would say that helps us with perspective. That helps us tell the stories that may not be getting covered because of like white, mainstream media, that type of thing. I feel like we need those stories. We need that type of voice on the radio. And so that's why, like, when I was told, like, no, like, we actually appreciate you on the radio, you sound like a real person, I'm like, this is why we need different types of people, so you can hear different perspectives and understand America is not only one voice. You know what I mean? And in the news, in the media space or news space, that's even more important now. Like not everybody is what's being reported. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like being able to have those different voices and share those different perspectives. That is what America is about. That is what it's about, not necessarily trying to live up to some standard. And so I think having various perspectives allows us to see what truth is instead of like it being one single voice apparently.
Right.
Yeah.
So, man, I got so far into that.
It's okay.
Hey, look, I got far into that. I was like, is she telling the truth? I mean,
Cause
preaching right now.
bro, I'm telling you, like, especially today, like, we need voices like you and me. You know what I mean? We need them. Like, if we don't say nothing, if we don't do nothing, as far as like making sure like not only our stories are told, but like, you know, Hispanic stories, Asian stories, like I said, LGBT stories, trans stories, queer stories, disability. Like, if we don't have that representation, that is not helping anybody. You know, and so that's why like having that representation is so important. And for me, it was very important because at my job now, there's a radio host. She's like a mentor to me, and she's like kind of like the only sort of Black female journalist that I can kind of go to in that space. So having representation is so important, especially if you're going into media in today's landscape.
So, has there ever been a time where you had to choose between being a Black woman or simply Black and being a journalist? Because you know there are stories that directly impact us, and you have to be like, man, do I choose to speak how I really feel about this, or do I just stick to being an objective journalist?
Well, I guess like that depends on like discernment, man, and being able to remove yourself. Like, how good are you at removing yourself and not interjecting yourself as a journalist? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember you spoke about that earlier about with the lady with the eviction.
Yeah. And so basically, like, that was a sensitive story that, you know, I can relate to as far as like, you know, not necessarily knowing where your next move is going to come from. You know what I mean? Like, I experienced that when I was living here during COVID. You know what I'm saying? And like, the whole rent situation, you know, people can't pay their rent. And, you know, I experienced that and not necessarily knowing what was next, you know? So it's like, how do I sort of balance that? It was like making sure, like I said, doing what I can as far as telling her story, but also understanding that it's not, like, I can't get too close. That's why making sure you tell the other portions of the story are important, like talking to city officials, talking to, you know, property managers, whatever. So that way you're not necessarily solely focused on, like, this person being impacted. You're holding other people accountable. And that somewhat, in my opinion, that somewhat removes you from that, because now you're looking at the city people with a more objective lens. You know, because you may not know them or as close, or they're not directly impacted. So to me, like, being able to like have a story where you can talk to officials or talk to experts, that helps you balance it all. And so it is about discernment, though. Like, if there is a story where I feel like I'm too close to it, that's something me and my editor would talk about. But I haven't necessarily had that experience yet. But like, just thinking about, like, again, how I felt during the story with the lady with the eviction and stuff, it was just like, I understand what you're going through. However, it's like, how do I balance this? And that's just making sure I talk to all parties in the story. And so that was sort of like my way of doing it, at least in that example. However, overall, I haven't necessarily had a specific story come up where it's like, I think I'm too close to this.
Okay. So we see the success, we see the Emmy Award, we see the accolades. Has there ever been a moment where you thought about coming back to North Carolina, going back to Goldsboro, kind of just figuring it out? Maybe whatever, like, here the job is everybody goes to the hog plant or something like that. Has there ever been a time where you thought about, this might not be it?
Like in Atlanta?
Just period, throughout your career.
Oh, like journalism. Oh, okay. I don't necessarily think like I ever had a situation where I didn't think like I would not want to do my job anymore, or like not be in my field anymore.
Or not be able to.
Or yeah, like I I haven't had those thoughts. I'll just be honest with you, because I think in the present a lot, and so I think about what am I capable of and what is my purpose. And right now, my purpose is to do what I'm doing. So it really hasn't been a thought of like I can't do it or I'm hitting an obstacle where I can't do this anymore. Because I always make a way for myself to do what I want. That's why I'm where I'm at now. So have I really thought about that? No. Going back home, I'm trying to stay as far away from Goldsboro as possible. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't really gave that much thought per se.
Okay. So you graduated from here, graduated from Georgia State. Now you're working in Atlanta. What has taught you more? Your education or your experiences?
That's a good question, because my education sort of got me to the point, right? However, my experiences got me to like how well and versed I am in my job. That's like, you know, the skills you pick up from making mistakes, the things you learn from being in certain environments. So I think it was like, maybe experiences. Because like being in the field, you learn different things than maybe in the classroom, like troubleshooting or, you know, remembering to do this thing, questions, that type of thing. Like just being in the actual midst of it, your mind is working different. So like, you know, it could be like in the classroom, you may just like interview a student or something, but like in the space where I'm at, it's like you don't know who you're gonna run into, so you just gotta be ready to talk. Right. So it's like, yeah, you can have a plan, but at the same time, something could happen. Like there could be a story where it could be pretty straightforward, but then you might see somebody that is impacted by it or could be impacted by it. So you go talk to them, and now you have to switch gears because the story could shift, or it could be deeper or more context. So it's just you kind of just got to be ready for anything in the field. Compared to in classroom, it's a little bit more controlled, you know. So I would say my experiences definitely helped me a lot, like in my career, like my career experiences, but also my personal experiences and like how I handle myself as an adult, you know, in my career too. So yeah, experience for sure has been a big impact on my life. Yeah.
Well, man, first off, can you tell people what if they wanted to find you, your work, get some of this game you got, how could they reach you?
Y'all can follow me at Dormaya Vance, just my name, DormiyavaNce. And honestly, you can find all my work there. Like all the links is in the bio. Everything you need is on the Instagram page.
And so we do something here called the bottom line, where we give students, viewers, audience, anybody who may need it, just something to get them through the day, the week, maybe just a moment. So you being the guest today, I'm gonna let you lead the people with a bottom line. What's something that you can lead these people with that just help them get them through homecoming? Let's get them through homecoming.
Well, first and foremost, of course, be safe. However, I think use this time to really enjoy yourself. I've been telling people, even back home, like figure out what makes you feel good. You know, even through this homecoming weekend, even if something don't work out, find something that you want to do, or find something that, you know, makes you feel good. Focus on you and how you feel, having fun this weekend, you know what I mean? You can apply that in life, like when you're going through stuff and you think like what's going on, tap in with yourself and have fun with yourself before you try to do anything else with anybody else. So getting through homecoming, have fun. However, in life, have fun with yourself.
And that's the bottom line, because she said so. This has been the bottom line. I am your host, King Jones, and next week, Richard and the guys will be back tonight. This has been the bottom line. I am your host, King Jones, and I am gonna leave you with "Party With Me" by Zion Gooden.
How was that? Did I do good?
Yeah, man. Did I do good?
Yeah, you did good. That was pretty smooth, like conversational. That's good.
What if I told y'all?
Well, that's usually how it go. That's usually how it go.
Promise.
That's usually how it go. Like, mind you, there be so many times where I be in interviews, like, right, like making it up.
Alright, listen, you gotta listen real quick. Like, alright, boom, I got a question.
Right. Literally, that be me sometimes. I swear that be me sometimes. Cause it's like some of the stories, sometimes going into stuff blind helps a lot. Like when you don't know much and then you talk to people and then you start to learn and you like questions come up, you know, just off the fly. Yeah.
That's how I be, man. Yeah, man. I'm here trying to add value. That's all I try to do.
Well, that's good. You adding it. You keeping them consistent.
Everybody be like, excuse me, man. I be so low key, motherfucker. Like, man, can you do that? I be right here.
Yeah, that's real. Hey, listen. Hey, I know how it go, man. That's how I am in Atlanta. I be ducked off in the crib for the most part. You know, I might go out on the weekends, but I be ducked off, man.
Really, boy, they gonna catch me out this weekend, these next 2 days, and that's it.
I know that's right. Shit, when I go back home, they probably won't see me till Halloween for real.
So they wanna see me Halloween?
Yeah, when I go back home. Yeah. Okay, peoples, thanks for joining my live. That was my interview. Shout out to my bro. I was on YouTube. But yeah, we out here. If y'all enjoyed the interview, subscribe. Thanks, guys. How we end this?
Appreciate it.